Today's guest is Gary Doherty. Gary Doherty is the founder of the Think Network and is also hosting and preparing to launch the TEDx London Dairy in January 29th, 2021. So, Gary, thanks very much for coming on today.
My pleasure.
Gary, if you just tell us, what is the Think Network and how did it come about?
The Think Network is the UK and Ireland's #1 independent empowerment platform, bar none. It came about 2 years ago. Something that I was doing almost as, I'm going to say, a hobby, but not really a hobby, more of a passion. Similarly, probably what you're doing with your podcast and stuff, it's not just a hobby, it's something you're really passionate about. And it's led to the point where it is now a business. And we're making real meaningful change in the UK and farther afield, right as far as some of our members are in America. So it started off as a hobby, stroke passion, and then just it has been a growing monster since then.
Good. And what I know you do like different groups. I know that there's one coming up on the 2nd of October at 10 Square Hotel. What all does it involve at the workshops?
There's different strings there, bow, so to speak. But the what you're referring to isn't a workshop; it's an event. It's an empowering speaking event, and that's one of the things that we do. When we started out, it was the only thing that we did. So it's core to what we do, but now it's one of many things that we do. It's an empowering speaking event. We have strategically chosen speakers that will be speaking on the theme. The theme that particular evening is inspired. Think inspired. Every event name is think something. Think inspired. Think resilience. Think self-belief. Think self-empowerment. Whatever. So it's think inspired that evening. We've got speakers like Chris Sutter in Belfast. We have Jordan O'Keefe, Britain's Got Talent finalist. He's also singing. We've got Dr. Mano, who is one of the top neurosurgeons in the country. We've got Niamh Macaulay, video content expert. Olive Murphy, a personal development leadership coach, and others. So it's going to be a real good evening of inspired perspectives.
Excellent. And basically, obviously, each kind of event, the people who are going there, there's a lot to take home from each subject. You're pretty much exploring, for example, maybe visualization or inspiration. What way does that work? Do you make sure there's key points kind of given out to the individuals, or?
Well, we curate the talks. As you know, I'm also involved with TEDx Dairy, London Dairy, and TED Circles and the TED platform. And as part of my development with them, it is important to curate the talks. So we know what the speakers are going to be talking about before they talk about it to the audience. And a prerequisite for a speaker's talk is to share an idea with the audience, to extend knowledge for the audience, and also give them takeaways. So it's not just about, I'm Joe Bloggs and I went through a hard time and now I'm in a good time, and that's inspirational. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's their talk has to have takeaways, has to have golden nuggets, has to have lessons, has to have something that somebody can walk away with and think, whoa, I haven't tried that before, or I haven't done that before, or that's unusual, or so from a point of view of what people take away, that is ensured by the meticulous preparation in the talks and the content of the talks pre-event.
Excellent. So it's pretty much, it safeguards against somebody just rambling and then before their time, like, oh, I forgot to mention the key point there. Excellent.
Yeah, well, that's happened. In the early days when we didn't create the talks, when we didn't know what people were saying, we had a few curveballs. So it's been a journey in that respect as well, ensuring the quality of the event is as it should be.
Yeah, I know a lot of people maybe watching this that probably think the most public speaking anyone ever does maybe is at a wedding or maybe, unfortunately, maybe at a funeral. Um,
Yeah.
there's more obviously to public speaking than just getting up and reading a
Mm.
pre-scripted thing. Um, what what if you don't mind, could you go in more detail about the creation of maybe how you prepare people to speak at your events, or just
Yeah. Yeah, well, the Think Network events are less intensive in terms of preparing how speakers speak. Because of our independent nature, we are quite dynamic in what we do. So what we don't want to do is be overbearing with the speaker, is to own their talk. We don't want to do that. Speakers must feel empowered to deliver an empowering talk. They must feel that they have got a creative license almost in what they're going to deliver. It's just my job to make sure that that is aligned to my objectives for the event. So it's not so much a formal process. It's more through clear, crisp, concise, regular communication that is executed. So there's not like it's not like a formal process. It's more of a almost, I'm going to say, holistic view to the preparation, and that works very well because our speakers then feel free to deliver a talk as opposed to a rehearsed talk. You know what I mean?
yes, yes,
The involvement with the TED one, however, is different. The TED one is, like, for example, it has to be a certain time and no more. We have to receive any slides that a speaker will be using beforehand. We also will have to research any claims that speakers make in their talks to make sure that those are valid and not like pseudoscience. They're not made up or fanciful.
yeah,
So the TED one is stricter.
okay,
When I say stricter, it's a more intense experience.
okay. And you said this the Think Network started as a hobby. What got you into this? What drew you to go to take get started in as a hobby, and then obviously make it as a business?
That's a good question. It's like I've been talking a lot recently on webinars and meetings and interviews and stuff about knowing and finding your why it is you do what you do. And I have been on a journey, I suppose, myself on a personal level about finding my why. Yeah.
Okay.
And even right up to the start of Think Network, I was still almost searching for the why. What is my actual purpose on this planet? And I knew I had something more to give. I knew that I wanted to make an impact on people, locally, regionally, nationally, internationally, globally. I felt I had that passion to want to, and empathy to want to serve others and do that. That's what sort of it took me down a route of doing a lot of charity work, because you were given, and that was gratifying to do that. And that was part of what we did with Think Network at the very start. We did a lot of charity work for Autism NI and different charities, and I was using Think Network as a tool to serve that. But the more that I continued doing what I was doing with Think Network, the power wasn't in the charity work. The power was in the connections that we were building, the relationships, the connections that we were making, the groups that we were developing. That's where the real power is. The power is in the conversations with people, not in other things for me. So that's what I started to really find my why, and that was part of my way.
Excellent. And before obviously you found your I know like pretty much people's own journeys, even talking to some of the guests on this show, over a course of time, it takes them to find their why. I was talking to Bob Breen, and he pretty much found his why from a young age. For yourself, we just like prior to this, were you like stuck in like like a continuous loop or like a dead end job and just
No, no, no. I've never been. I'm somebody that's continually progressing,
okay.
learning, lifelong learning. I, 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 I've always felt that I've been thinking about things and wanting to do things and doing things that maybe other people aren't thinking about or actioning. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Loads of people think about them, but not loads of people action them. There's a difference, and there's a difference in knowing you should do something and actually doing it. There's a big difference. 90% of people know what they should do, and 10% actually go and do it. And I have been on a relentless crusade for, I would say, 10, 15 years of continuous improvement, whether that be in education, whether that be in my personal development, whether that be in any job that I have undertaken. So no, I'm lucky. Sorry, I'm fortunate that I have that ambition and relentless and insane drive.
Yeah, and for anyone who's really watching, I know obviously, I think it was Simon Sinek, was it, that wrote the book Find Your Why? Apologies
Not
for
sure. Not sure. I must check it out. I'll check it out though.
Yeah. For anyone who's been watching, and maybe obviously under current circumstances, the whole COVID-19, the country's now in it was the deepest recession in history.
Yeah.
If someone's kind of reached the bottom of the barrel as such, what would your advice be to finding your why, or
well, I think finding your way is a journey. That's the first thing. It's connecting with the right people. It's about using the right tools. It's about being in the right groups or network. And it's about putting yourself out there and in there in conversations. We're involved with loads of people, from people starting on their journey to we're involved with some of the country's leading entrepreneurs at very, very high levels in some of our groups. So, and what's very satisfying for me is seeing somebody go through their journey, coming in. We have an accountability group. Seeing somebody coming into an accountability group where we set goals and smash goals and weekly updates and accountability Zooms and private events. Seeing somebody go through one of them and ending up in a high level mastermind is very satisfying to be with somebody on that journey. But what I would say to anybody is just talk to like-minded people, identify where it is you want to go, or who you want to be associated with, or what it is you actually want to learn, or what the actual problem is. Is it confidence? Is it self-belief? Is it I don't have enough like-minded people? Is it I don't know what to do? I don't have the tools? Well, Think Network is certainly a good place to be visiting, whether it just be on our social media platforms or whatever. I look around and I don't see anybody doing what we're doing and connecting with people the way we're connecting with people, and I mean that anywhere in the world, by the way. There's loads of empowerment platforms that do something very well, or do a couple of things very well, but there's not an empowerment platform anywhere that I can see that does pretty much everything, and is in that at all levels.
And when you get people coming in to when they join up with the Think Network, what would be some of the biggest stumbling blocks that you would find dealing with those people at the start?
You usually find it's a confidence thing. Self-confidence is a gateway to personal growth. You know, a lot of people, you only find growth through pain, right? So the fact that somebody has went through some sort of pain, trauma, or a barrier, that's good. That's where you need to be to grow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you come into our group and everything's perfect and 100 out of, or 10 out of 10 and 100 out of 100, well, where are you going?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in fact, if anybody actually thinks that anyway, they ain't being true to themselves, because we can always improve, we can always grow, we can always learn. So The biggest barrier, I think, self-confidence. I think people lack, or self-confidence stroke self-belief, very similar.
I think that's very prevalent. And I know even from my own experience, even doing this, I mean, technically speaking, if I didn't get in my way, this podcast would been going for 2 years now.
Yes.
It took me 2 years literally I was doing the interviews, but just freaking out about the whole Lunstone thing,
Yes.
and just I was looking at a lot of people's work was and I was comparing to what I was going to be doing, and it just freaked out because I thought I'm like Vauxhall Conference League, they're like Premier League, and I think
here and the thing is you're not. You're already Premier League.
yeah.
You're already Premier League from the get go. You're already the best at what you do from the get go, or you should be thinking like that in your mind, because we are the best at what we do in the world by a mile, by a country mile, and I believe that, and I have the courage to say it, and then guess what? I'm emotionally attached to what I'm doing, and then I'm doing it. And it's a powerful, powerful thing, my friend. And you know, self-belief is fortunately, and thank God, my self-belief is bulletproof. My self-confidence is bulletproof. Humble confidence and humble self-belief. But that takes time. That takes work. That takes the right network. That takes the right, surrounded by the right people. It takes discipline. It takes commitment. It takes an insane passion and desire to what you do, to feel like this, or to feel like that.
You mentioned earlier on about the do like a master, you progress on to like a mastermind, and if you could explain a bit more about that and how does that work and the benefits.
Yeah, it's not so much. I maybe used the wrong terminology about progress onto the mastermind. The mastermind isn't anything to progress onto. It's just another thing if you want to do it, as such. But the mastermind is a high-level mastermind. It's a mastermind from you could be an entrepreneur, a business startup stage, or you could be an international entrepreneur, and you could find yourself in the same group. What brings you together isn't your bank balance; it's your mindset. Yeah, we have entrepreneurs in our group that are business startup entrepreneurs, but they have the same mindset, just don't have the same bank balance as the leading entrepreneur who has got international companies and multi commitments. So it's the mindset that brings you together, and that ensures we have a group of like-minded people. We have 12 people in it. We have got an agenda. We have got a schedule. We bring the schedule out 3 months at a time. And the reason for that is at the end of the 3 months, we do a review and reflection session about what went well, what didn't, and that helps us improve for the second 3 months. And this is just ongoing, a minimum 12-month commitment, because, you know, it's not a dip in and dip out thing. It's like a lifestyle. It's like choosing to healthy eat. It's like choosing to go to the gym. You're choosing to be in a mastermind.
Basically, you're surrounding yourself with people who are all working in the same kind of direction of bettering themselves and also helping each other as a group as well.
Yes. Yeah. Very powerful.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, I've heard, was it? I can't remember who said, "Show me your friends, I'll show you your future," and it's very, very telling. If you hang around with the one kind of people, you're going to go a certain way. If you hang around with, that's in my own experience. I know that to be very true. The goal setting then, when you're in the group, is I think you're obviously everyone's setting their own personal goals, and are you also setting goals as a group as well, or is it?
It's mostly a personal. Well, everybody's in a personal journey for a start. So usually the goals can be personal goals, they can be professional goals, they can be business goals, they can be fitness goals, they can be whatever you want it to be. However, the group has took a life of its own, and one of the groups that now they're spurring each other on, and they're putting challenges in. You know, for example, it might be they're challenging everybody to go off social media on a Saturday and a Sunday. Yeah, or it could be they're challenging everybody to put a video into the group so that they're getting okay with talking into a camera. Or you understand me?
Yes.
So that's where the group that's the power, as I said to you at the start, that's the power of people.
Yeah.
I didn't set that group. I didn't set that goal for anybody. They set it themselves, and that people come together and elevate and support and grow one another, and that's powerful. You can't put a price in that.
No.
You can't buy that. You can't manufacture that. That happens organically when you have something special. So that's the sort of things going on. And then there's different types of goals. When you come into the group, there's different. I have done different videos on goals and goal setting and different types of goals. So that's very interesting too. That's another topic.
Okay, and if going on about goals, you mentioned that also that for a lot of people who set goals, I've seen on your social media as well. A lot of people, everyone sets goals, especially most notorious time of year is January, New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
And you mentioned, and I know that's true obviously in the creation of this own podcast, what the difference between people who set goals and people who achieve goals is the ones who take action. Can you elaborate a bit more on that? I know that's how people go a bit self-evident there, but
yeah, no, I think the difference in setting a January goal, like when gyms are overloaded in January and healthy eating's through the roof in January, the difference is when it's a lifestyle. It's when it's back to when you're in them groups and networks, it becomes every day. January is just another month for me.
Yeah.
January is just another month for me. 1st of January is just another day for me. Everything's just another day for me. It's not a big moment where I've set a new goal, or it's like, I've had the light bulb moment where I'm going to lose a stone in weight. I am constantly evolving to be better, whether that be my diet, weight, nutrition, personal development, career, work, business, you name it. It's all aspects. You have to be all in. Be all in. That's a term I use all the time. Be all in or don't do it at all. Be all in or don't do it at all. And I just like to be all in. Anything that I choose, anything that I'm focused on, anything that whether it be a goal, whether it be a choice, whether it be a group, whether it be an event, whether it be whatever it is, or a collaboration or a relationship, all in. So January goals mean nothing to me. Nothing.
And you do get the kind of feeling, I think for a lot of people, it's kind of like, I know myself, again, going from your own experience, you do kind of fall into the trap of, I'll make plans or I'll make movement towards this next week, tomorrow, whatever.
Procrastination, eh? Procrastination.
What advice would you give to people maybe watching this who have goals, maybe they're frustrated that they haven't reached them? What even simple tip or advice would you give just to...
Well, there's 3 different types of goals. A type A goal, a type B goal, and a type C goal. Anybody that's done listening to this, that's done thinking into results, a Bob Proctor program, or is into personal development may know about them. But that's okay too. It's okay knowing it. But if you're not doing it, then that it's almost one of the ultimate failures, having knowledge and doing nothing about it. Yeah. It's like being successful and looking. It's like reaching your ultimate goal and being very successful, but being unhappy. It's like they're big failures for me. Anybody that about goal setting, there's a type A goal. If you want to get off the starting blocks and you want to start building momentum and you want to start achieving, set yourself a goal, a type A goal. A type A goal is a goal that you know how to do. It's just about doing it, right? So like it could be. Well, even more basic than that. It could be getting up every morning next week at 7 a.m. to read a book or to go walking. You know how to do that. You set the damn alarm on your phone. You get up. You go for the walk. That's how you achieve that goal. End of story. Or it could be painting that room. You pick a day. You bought the paint. You turn up. You do it. Right? Yeah. You've smashed a goal. That's a type A goal. That is an achievable goal. That is one you cannot not achieve. If you actually press the button and do it. So a type A goal Set type A goals, build momentum, start achieving, write them down. Write them down. I am going to achieve this week. My type A goal this week is to join a personal development group. Join Think Network. Why not? It's going to be whatever. And you know how to do that. You just have to action it. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a type A goal. Focus on that there for 1 month. Every week, every day, set yourself a goal. A mini goal. A type A goal. I'm going to ring that person today because I haven't spoke to them in a year and a half. I'm going to check in on them and how they are. How many people do we not do that with?
Yeah.
We bump into them and I meant to ring you, or we should get that coffee, or we not right.
That's so
right.
true. Yeah.
You know, why not? That's a type A goal though. You know you should do it. You just don't do it. So and it's so achievable. You just off the phone. There's nothing stopping you achieving it. So that's a type A goal, and that is achievable for anybody. It doesn't set people up for failure. Everybody can succeed with that. Every single person. It's something you know how to do. So how can you fail? See, when you've built confidence and you've built momentum, then you're on to type B goals. Type B goal is something you want to achieve, but you're not quite. You think you can do it, but you're not quite sure how to do it. That could be running a half marathon for somebody that's a couch potato. Yeah? A half marathon. Like, you couldn't get up off the sofa and go and do that even if you wanted to do it. I couldn't today. Yeah?
Yeah.
But I have a fair idea how I could do it.
Yes.
Eat healthier. Stay away from alcohol. Lead a healthier lifestyle. Start going out walking. Progress in the running. Join a running club. So something you want to do, you can't quite do it just at the flick of a switch, but you think you could because you're not stupid. You know what you need to do to get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a type B goal. That's something that's when you've got loads of type A goals done, and you think, right, there, that's easy now. This is easy work. I need to push myself. So that's a type B goal. So then when you get the type B goals, then you're on to the big stuff. Then you're on to the sort of you're on to the dreams. You're on to the dreams. It's like, and for your instance, it would be, I want to be the Joe Rogan of podcasting. I want to have that level of success.
Yeah.
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 Now, scares the life out of you. How the hell are you going to do that? Never in a million years can I do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a natural thoughts that you would have. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's a type. That's what you call a type C goal, a fantasy goal.
Okay.
Yeah. And those goals are obviously harder to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've achieved 2 in the last 12 months. 2 type C goals. Two crazy goals that scared the life. They should scare you as well, by the way.
Yeah.
You should be like, oh, did I really say that? Did I really want to do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then because what happens then is when you have a type C goal and you've wrote it down, or you've put it up on your vision board, or you've said it in a podcast, and it's out there. It's out there for everybody to hear. You've put your heart out there. This, you've put your neck in the line. What happens then is you should become emotionally attached to your goals. You should be thinking about them a lot. You should be thinking about that Joe Rogan podcast. I want to be the #1 podcast in the world. What do I need to do to be there? Obviously, what you need to do to be there is have the top guests in the world on it. You need to be aligned to the right platform. You need to invest in that equipment. You need to travel to America and turn up at his studio and ask him, can you have 5 minutes of his time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You have to do the insane stuff that nobody else is going to do. Nobody. Who in their right mind is going to fly from Northern Ireland to Joe Rogan's studio? They stand outside for a week hoping they're going to get 5 minutes with him.
Yeah.
Who? Nobody.
Nobody.
But you see the one. I'll tell you something. See the one person that does.
Yeah.
Is a step closer to his type C goal. I bet you.
That's true. Yeah.
So you can see where I've went from to where I've went to.
Yeah.
So you're going from the easy stuff to the stuff that you need to be insane. you have to have an insane desire to achieve.
Yeah. No,
That's the key point. That's the key point, by the way.
I think that I've never heard of goal setting done like that. I think that's it's a very nice way of simplifying it. Goal A or type A goals, type B and type C, and
Yeah.
kind of you can actually see the logic from A to C. How doing those goals in A would take you to the one in C.
Yeah, and then before you know it, you're doing them all. You know, daily you're doing wee mini goals. I have type A goals today. I need to do this, that, the other. I know how to do them, and I'm going to get them. Yeah. So and I'm working on other type B goals. I'm working on type C goals. I'm always gravitating towards them. Always. And guess what? They're coming to me too. You know, so it's all good.
But how do you structure your own day? How do you balance all that out? Obviously, organising events and then doing your own stuff.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge. That's an area of development for me. That's an area of development for me. That's something. A work-life balance is. I know that's not strictly what you're referring to, but it sort of comes under it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Your work-life balance is something I work towards achieving a good space in. In terms of structuring my day, I have multiple whiteboards in the house. 1, 2, 3. I have got to-do lists each day.
Okay.
On a Sunday, for example. I Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I know what Zooms I have planned for that following week. I know what times that they're at, and that is a visual. That is a visual. I don't have planner on my phone or anything. That is a visual. So I work from home. I have a home office, and in my office, I have the visual of. I just look at that, and I know that I have a Zoom at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Who it's with, what it's about. Yeah. So because of the increasing nature of Zooms, I have a board just for Zooms sometimes, just for Zooms. Yeah, because you could have 3, 4, 5 in one day.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have a vision board that structures my type B and C goals, you know, things that I want to. I'm looking up at one here now. I have things that I want to that I'm working towards. Maybe income targets, maybe strategic alliances, somebody I want to connect with, or an event, or a speaker that I really want on one of my events, or whatever it is. I have a vision board, and I use that, and that helps structure my mind.
Yeah.
That's sort of I'm always keeping my type B and C goals on my radar and my peripheral, you know. So I'm a visual learner.
Okay.
Visual, you know, well, a bit kinesthetic actually, a bit visual and doing, but more I need to see things, and that's why I use the whiteboards. I have 3 of those.
So that means you've instead of putting a book and closing the book and setting the book aside, you've got them. So you get a cup of tea in the morning, there it is in front.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see it.
And well, I have to say the same information's in the book as well. So I have it in the book. So if I am not near the boards and I have one of my diaries, whether it be a TED diary or a Think Network one or a journal or whatever it is, I'm constantly seeing it. And if I'm not seeing it there, I'm seeing it there on my phone, whether it be things that I know I need to, not in Google Planner, but things that I know I need to do and activities and things I'm involved with. So no. Again, you see, when you've got that attitude that you're all in, you're all on it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
But you're quite right. You brought up a point there that's right. Structure and process. Structure and processes are the keys to greatness. They're the keys to great success. Sorry, I should say.
Yeah.
You must be structured and you must have a process. I am still evolving in that area myself, but getting better.
Yeah, no, that even from myself, I think I've constantly battled with, and I'm trying to make my time more structured. I think I do fall in some of the pitfalls a lot of other people do. Like sometimes you're on your phone, you end up maybe for 5 minutes checking something, and then before you know it's 30 minutes. So I'm trying to change all that. Going on to the TEDx, Derry Londonderry, again, it's taking
Yes.
place in January 29th, 2021.
What a topic. What a topic.
Yeah.
Now you've got my attention again. Let's go.
How did that come about? What got you into planning that?
Listen, my life for the last 10 years and beyond has been about a life of, I don't know if this is coincidentally, I'm going to say it's not. My life has turned out to be a life I've never been done before. I find myself gravitating to break new ground, do new things, inquisitive mindset about why is that not done? Well, I should be the boy that does it, or could be the boy that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I find myself stumbling into never been done before, all over the place. And when I say stumbling, maybe that's wrong. You know, maybe that's what I'm attracting, because that's what I'm searching for. Yeah. But TEDx is TED as a platform is one I've been passionate about forever. All the TED Talk, the famous TED Talks. I've been following that platform forever. Maybe I'm going to say 20, 25 years. And the more that I was gravitating to this world with Think Network and the personal development world, naturally TED had my attention a lot more in terms of the intricacies of how they ran their business, what it is they do, value propositions that they have and offer. And I started to think, wouldn't it be great if one of those events were here? It just was a figment of my imagination one time, and I just thought I would love one of them in the city that I love and was born, as Derry, Londonderry. And I started to research it, and I started to see that TED brought out the brand TEDx in 1980. I'm going to say 86. It could be 84, but I think it's 86. And it had, interestingly, it had never been to Derry.
Right.
Never, ever, never in its history. And when I say never been to Derry, what I mean by that is you have to apply for a license to be deemed eligible and knowledgeable and suitable to bring it to the city. And the more I looked at it, many people had tried and failed. Many people. And I thought, well, I will be the boy that does that. I will bring that to this city. I will do that. So I applied for it applied for the license about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Maybe 2 years ago. It was about 2 years ago, and I was turned down.
Right.
After 6 weeks, the Dear John letter, sorry Gary, blah blah. Wasn't, when I look back, I was turned down, and rightfully so, because the application wasn't at the level it should have been in terms of preparation. Yeah. So I went away, dusted myself down, and put more work into it, and put on a second application. 6 weeks later, sorry Gary, your application isn't good enough. X, Y, and Z. So that time I was a bit more, I felt it a bit more because I felt that it was a good application. So what I could have gave up very easily, and a lot of people would have, and a lot of people did do. So what I decided to do was I started looking at myself and saying to myself, was I actually all in with this? I hadn't fully immersed myself in the brand. If I had of, my applications would have been better. Yeah. I was nearly playing with it. You know what I mean? I was nearly just playing with it, and I thought, no, I need to be switched on here. I need to do what other people have never done before if I'm going to get what nobody else has been able to get before. So I started to adopt the attitude of being all in, and I volunteered at different TED events. I got up close and personal with some of the best creators in the UK. I was an attendee of various TED events. I started to be part of the fabric, almost. You know what I mean? Yeah. So much so that even about a year ago, I was invited to be a judge on a panel that was judging to see who the next TEDx speaker was from Derry to speak at in Belfast at TEDx Stormont. So I had went from nobody knowing me to being a judge. Yeah. That was being all on. That was by my desire to work towards this C-type goal. One I had no idea how I was going to achieve. Nobody had ever done it before. There was no pathway. There was nobody I could pick up the phone to. Who were you speaking to? How did you get that? What did you do? What did I have to do? Nobody had done it.
Yeah.
This was never been done before. So people have done it in other areas that give me bits and pieces of advice, but not enough to get it over the line. This had to come from me. So I did all that, and I prepared meticulously, and we put in a third application. Guess what? Third application was unsuccessful as well.
Right. Okay.
Right. Most people are waiting there for you got it.
Yeah.
Not unsuccessful again, and but this time they had given me feedback that on paper led me to believe that I had just missed out.
Right. Yes.
Okay, but I have to say I was devastated.
Yeah.
I got that news on Christmas Eve past. I got that news on Christmas Eve past 2019, that I was unsuccessful for a third time. And I really had a lot of soul searching to do then. As much as I knew I was close to getting it, I also was close to giving up.
Yeah.
I had enough mentally. It was like the whole build yourself up, come down, build yourself up, knock down, build yourself up, knock down. And I just wasn't sure if I wanted to go there again to be knocked down. So I had a lot of soul searching to do over Christmas, and I did. Near the end of January, I'm going to say, I put in the application for the license again. This time I felt well placed because I had been through what I'd been through. Yeah. And I put in the application, and I just went for it, put it in again. And on the 12th of March at 6:32, I was in Lustybeg in Enniskillen, and I got the email saying, congratulations, you've been awarded the license to bring the historic first ever event to Derry, TEDx Derry, Londonderry. We are delighted that you have continued with us, and blah, blah, blah. And that is it, my friend. We are good to go. And we are doing it.
And I have to ask, first of all, if the fourth application came back as a no, would you put in for a fifth, sixth, seventh time, or?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Would it have been a struggle? Yes.
Yeah.
Would I have had to pick myself up, dust myself down, and do it again? Yes. Would I have felt like giving up? Yes. Would I have, but would I have done it? Probably yes. So there's a story. If anybody is listening to this, 3 Feet from Gold. It's a parable that's in it's not a parable. It's a story that is in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Okay.
Go and check it out. 3 feet from gold. 3 feet from gold. I wasn't stopping 3 feet from gold for anybody. So and now we've got the damn gold. We've got the event. It's happening the 29th of January. We have partnered with the biggest and best companies in the UK. We have got the most amazing speakers. We're going to have the most amazing event in the historic Playhouse Theatre. We are hosting TEDx Derry 2021, a first forever, a truly historic event for the city, and it is going to blow people's minds.
And I know I read on your media posts, you've got, is it 13 speakers lined up so far?
14
speakers.
We added a 14th, which is quite a lot of speakers. But I was at TEDx Stormont. I'm looking at the wee poster here. I was at TEDx Stormont on the 12th of December, and they had 17.
Right. Okay.
So we're going with 14 speakers. 14 speakers speaking for 10 minutes each.
And I think you also said the names, the speakers list will be released on the 1st of September.
1st of September, 6 p.m. live via Zoom and on TEDx Derry, Londonderry social media platforms that include Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Our speaker social media following exceeds 4 million.
Right. Brilliant.
4 million followers across all platforms on social media. So we might have 1 or 2 golden nuggets in there that people won't be expecting.
And what obviously once it's all done and dusted and the 29th turns into the 30th of January, What would you like to take away from that yourself? What would you?
Well, listen, what I tell you, the 29th turns into the 30th of January. Guess what? That's only the start.
Okay.
This is going to be a legacy event. There's going to be events for the event.
Okay.
We're having events for the event. We're having the 1st of September, the speakers being unveiled is an event. Yeah? That's an event for an event. See, after it, we're going to have an event for the event. It's going to be a reflection event.
Excellent.
I'm only getting started. Yeah. The 30th of January, I can't wait for the 30th of January to come. Yeah. The 30th of January, we're going to have another 10 TEDx Londonderry events, one after the other. Boom, 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 the whole way. We're going to put Derry on the map globally and internationally via the TEDx empowerment platform. That empowerment platform is 25 million YouTube subscribers. Our speakers are going to go onto that YouTube channel and share their idea that's worth spreading with the world, with every person in it. And so it's exciting. But no, 30th of January, guess what? Just another day.
Yeah. Build on the foundation that you've got.
Just another day.
Gary, I know obviously we are a bit pushed for time.
Okay.
Basically, what would be some of the biggest lessons, or biggest lesson you've learned in your life that you'd like to share with anybody?
There's three spring to mind just when you ask the question. There's many, but there's three spring to mind. The first thing is never give up on your dream. Never give up on your dream, and don't let the external affect the internal. Don't let the naysayers or the haters or the negative people or the dream crushers or people tell you can't do something. If you truly believe you're going to be you're going to be the number one podcaster in the world, or particularly in Northern Ireland to start with, how about that for a goal? Then don't listen to anybody that comments under one saying that was crap, you're a joke, or you have no idea, or whatever. Don't listen to the people. That you almost want to drop them a message and say, hey, listen, what's up? You know, what's up? You know, come on in here. Like don't hate. You know what I mean? It's all love. Like, you know, it's like, what can I do for you? You know, can I help you with something? Because you must there's something bothering you when you feel you need to give me that. You know, so it's don't let the haters, don't let the external affect the internal. Don't you know? Be bulletproof in your mind. If you have a dream and you believe in it, guess what? You're the only person that needs to believe in it.
Yeah.
You're the only person that needs to believe in it initially, and then other people will believe in you when you believe in you. But it has to start with you. So that's the first thing. Second thing is resilience. Resilience is a term that sort of seems to be associated with me for the journey I've been on. Resilience. A lot of people think that the resilience needs to be developed, right? Needs to be. It can be, right? It can be through different resources and teachings and practices and all the rest of it. But and I don't teach it, so I don't proclaim to be like have a process that I follow for it. But what I do say is, know that you have the ability to bounce back, and bounce back pretty quickly. When you when you don't have success, that doesn't mean you must give up. It means that you either go again, or you and improve and go again, or you go a different direction. But essentially, you keep going. Don't give up. Know that you are resilient. We are all born with a resilience. Some realize that they have it, others don't. The ones that give up don't.
Yeah.
And I want people to know that they have it within them to not give up and to keep going. And the third thing is, you know, I'm a big preacher and about knowing your why and about developing your self-confidence and about developing your self-belief, but remain humble with it. It's okay to be all those things. I feel that my confidence is supreme. I feel that my self-belief is through the roof. I feel that my passion, drive, desire is like nobody's. but it's important to remain humble. It's important to know your surroundings. It's important to know who the people are that matter. Don't get too big for your boots. Don't don't be focused on material possessions. Don't be focused on relationships and meaningful relationships. Be focused on that. Understand the importance of good people and the value that you can, one, give to them, and two, that they will naturally give back to you. So that's probably the things that are at paramount, sort of, are at the front of my radar.
Yeah, three powerful tips, definitely. I always like to, again, when I have guests on, I always like to ask that, because it's good to kind of, like, because I think we all go through our own journey. We all have maybe a series of lessons that kind of stick with us, and it's always good to kind of compare notes with people. So Gary, going forward, the Think Network, so the next event is on the 2nd of October. How do people get involved with that, or if people want to join?
The 2nd of October is an event that was supposed to happen on the 2nd of April, but obviously with things kicking off in the middle of March, it didn't happen. So this is a rescheduled event. There is 90 tickets available. There was 90 tickets available, and the room holds over 300. So obviously with the new, we are holding a safe event. That's what we're holding. We're going to hold a safe event, but essentially we're going to hold it. Shops are open. People are going to the work. Even bars are now open in some places. So we're going ahead with our event. We're not letting anything stop us unless we're in total lockdown. We are going ahead with the event. We're going ahead with it safely. We're having 90 people in the room, not 300. It's not going to be like sardines in the place. They're going to be a safe distance. The event is pretty much, it's not sold out, but it's close to it. There's maybe 10 tickets available or something like that. That's via you'll see in our social media or on Eventbrite. And that's that event really. Loads happening beforehand, loads happening after, and some crazy big plans.
And the TEDx Derry Londonderry, if people want, is there tickets available for that? Can people come along and attend, or what way?
That's going to be crazy. That's actually my biggest challenge with that event. Would you believe that? It's not raising a TED event takes about £10,000 to put on, right? Roughly takes about £10,000 by the time you pay audio, visual, and all the marketing material and the big TED letters, the famous TED letters and stuff. Like, it takes about £10,000 roughly. Would you believe it if I told you that's my least stress, is generating £10,000, because I'm not going to pay for it. It's going to pay for itself, the event. Yeah. So that's the least of my worries. The biggest of my worry is tickets. We don't have enough. You only allowed 100 people at a TED event with your first license.
Okay, right.
I could put 1,000 people in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be disappointed, unfortunately. But what can you do?
Yeah. So what will you, are you allowed to put that on like a Zoom link?
The tickets will be released. I haven't actually set a date on that. The tickets will probably be released. It will be sometime in October.
Okay.
It will be sometime in October, and everybody will know about it. It's going to be on all the social media platforms, everywhere. And I anticipate it'll be sold out in 24 hours.
Great. And
it'll sell out.
And if people want to contact you, maybe for advice or help or whatever, how do they contact yourself then?
Well, they can contact me. I've been doing a lot. We have a lot of things going on at the minute with an accountability group, with a think tank that we're launching very soon as well. It's a different group. We have the mastermind group. We have got resilience workshops that we were delivering physically before this whole thing. We haven't been doing them online. I've recently started taking people on and doing a 4-week self-confidence mentoring, where I take them through the process that I follow to develop the confidence that I have and the beliefs that I have in myself. And I take people through that on a 4-week basis. That's done on a 1-to-1. it sounds like a sales pitch, but it's actually not. I actually have a lot of people have coming down with stuff, but the people can get me on. The best places to get me are probably. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Gary Doherty, if you just want to connect with me on a general basis. But Think Network is all over social media. Think Network on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook.
Excellent. And just one question for myself before we wrap up. Would you ever consider taking this into schools?
Listen, that is something that's very, very possible and highly probable. Let's just say that. There's lots of stuff going on. We had pre-COVID, we had planned, I think, Network Kids. Yeah. Now I have been talking to different careers teachers in different schools, and we are talking about I think Network, a inspirational and motivational public speaking event. So that's something that'll inevitably probably happen. To be honest with you,
I think that'd be great, because I think especially in the schools, I think for kids, I think they build their confidence up, and I mean the world's changing at a rapid pace, and more again, as we said at the start of this, public speaking's become more of a thing, especially even in the work environment, being able to get up and present yourself, whether it's for promoting your business or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's definitely something that I want to do. There's big changes happening with Think Network and I mean big positive changes happening with Think Network that I can't go into in this Zoom just because of timing. But if you're following Think Network on the social media, they'll be all come very apparent between now and the 1st of October. So stay tuned, stay connected, stay on our radar. And likewise put us on yours, and you will see. But there's lots of stuff happening, and that is inevitably going to be one of them.
Excellent. No, definitely, Gary. And I say hopefully, maybe for next few months or a year or something, have you back on again if you want to. We could,
yeah. Well, you'll see. How about we do one after TEDx, Derry?
Yeah, definitely. That would be great.
How about we do one then? Because guess what? The goals shift then. You know.
Yeah.
That's eyes on the prize stuff now. But the next day, that's gone. When I say gone, it's there. But I mean, the focus shifts. The focus shifts. So it's let's do one after that.
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting time.
It'd be great. Definitely good to have we follow up. Gary, thank you very much for coming on today. I know I asked you out of the blue and going, who's that guy? I really appreciate you coming on. I think I definitely agree with Think Networks. Your goal is to be positive changes in the world, and especially here at Belfast Wheel. I'm trying, as I said to you over the phone, trying to create a more positive message and sharing people like yourself and stories like yourself. Who are doing that as well, and showing that there's more going on in Northern Ireland than just the same old news about the folks.
Yeah,
so,
I know some amazing people in Belfast that are like Andrew Cuthbert, Gavin Wall, Aaron Watson, Henry McCrory. The list goes. There's loads and loads and loads of people doing some really amazing things, up there. And there's a lot of talent in Northern Ireland. There's a lot of positive people in Northern Ireland, and there's a lot of people driving change in Northern Ireland. We should be very proud. We should be very proud of what we do here.
Definitely.
And we are.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it paints for a brighter, more positive future.
Absolutely.
But Gary, thank you so much. Best of luck for. I'm sure I'll definitely in touch with you beforehand. But best of luck for the TEDx Derry Londonderry in January, and all the best for the Think Network group sessions in the 2nd of October as well.
Yes. Thank you very, very much, and hopefully we'll catch up at one of the events, perhaps when it's easier to do so. But you're always welcome at anything we're doing. So stay in touch.
Will do. Thank you, Gary.